this segment of Keepers on Parade, we got the honor of hearing how our next local artist overcame some very specific challenges while channeling his own history and previous work into this keeper at Buffalo Park.
I just love black bear bosun and the keeper. My mom would always drive me by it, and we'd freak out every time. And still to this day, I drive my kids by it. We look at it, and I've studied about it, learned about it, and I think it's probably the coolest part of Wichita. I'm drawing all the time. That's pretty much all I do in my spare time. So I always have stuff I can draw back on and look at, and kind of bring it back into my work. So pretty much just old styles that I use, and I was able to incorporate them into the keeper. I grew up really liking graffiti art. I tried to use some spray paint and stuff, but I'm not very good at it. They wanted 150 on the keeper at some point for the 150 birthday of Wichita, so I incorporated that. Also, with it being in Buffalo Park, I wanted to have a couple buffaloes on there, so I did that. And filling in space, I used Hopi ceramic art and visuals, mainly line work and native imagery. I paint a lot of portraits from old black and white photos and abstractions a lot. And this one leaned more towards the abstract just because of the shape of the keeper. So I painted it in my mom's gazebo, and it was kind of crazy because it was summertime. It was like 100 degrees every day, and I couldn't stand it up. I had to lay it down, and just had limited work time because it's so hot. And it was kind of frustrating, but overall, I think it was worth it. It was a process. I jumped in, and I've said it before, I thought it was going to be the easiest project ever because I started on it. It just looked so good, so quick, and I was like, man, it's going to be no problem. And then I realized I had 2 or 3 other sides to do. The more I worked on it, I was like, there's just so much to cover. I knew it was at Buffalo Park, and I've never really painted a buffalo before, so I was like, it'd probably be a good idea to put one on there. So there's actually one on there that you could tell is a buffalo, and then another one on the other side that's kind of abstract. Me and my kids come to this park sometimes and play tennis, and if I'm ever bored or maybe having a bad day, I'll drive by. It's just cool to come back by and look at it from time to time. I'm not the best at deadlines either. I kind of work from the seat of my pants, so it got down to crunch time, and I was just working crazy, just trying to figure things out and get things on there. So yeah, it was kind of a wild event, but it was probably still the best thing I've ever done, probably the funnest project I've had so far. I didn't really grow up knowing about my ancestry, but through my art, I feel like I'm connected, and I've met various other native artists and just collaborated with people and just really got a feel and a vibe for it. So just to be part of it with black bear bosun being such a prominent figure in native art, it just feels really good and like a positive affirmation for other natives in the community, maybe youth that want to do art, that it's something that's possible,
As we wrap up this episode of Keepers on Parade, we want to invite you to learn more by scanning this QR code on your screen. By following that link, you can learn where the statues are located, and join us next week where we'll highlight even more of the amazing stories behind some of these statues.